How to reverse erectile dysfunction fast. This video is based on my experience working with hundreds of guys where I was able to fix their erectile dysfunction, okay? And in this video, we will hit erectile dysfunction from different angles because everyone is thinking about erectile dysfunction as a blood flow issue, but it's not always the case, okay? There are multi-reason erectile dysfunction can come from different things, okay? So in this video we will talk about most of them, okay? So the first thing, a really important thing, not blood flow but neurotransmitters, okay? So somehow we need to start an erection, and if our dopamine is low, we have a problem, okay? Houston, we have a problem. If dopamine is low, there is a problem, because dopamine is neurotransmitter that is starting erection, arousal, is king of libido, okay? So dopamine on the other side need to be well balanced with GABA. We will talk about later, because if you are too much in sympathetic tone, you will probably have some kind of performance anxiety, okay? So dopamine, yes, but must be balanced with GABA, okay? So also acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is like main neurotransmitter for parasympathetic tone, okay? So if we want to have a great erection, we need to switch ourselves from sympathetic tone, okay? These like irritation, stress, like anxiety, to more like parasympathetic tone, okay? So it's how the nature build us, okay? So we want to get in parasympathetic tone, okay? Acetylcholine is one of these that help us get into parasympathetic tones. There are also many great supplements that can help with this, okay? So sympathetic tone also we will experience premature ejaculation, okay? So the more you are in parasympathetic tone, okay, also the longer you can last in the bed, okay? We also don't want too much of parasympathetic tone, but we really need to have a balance between parasympathetic and sympathetic tone, okay? So also do your blood test, okay? So many guys, they don't understand how blood tests are really great to finding a root cause for your erectile issue, because normally when I work with clients, I ask them for a blood test, and in most cases when I see the blood test, I know the reason, okay? So if you need my help, you will find the email address for my coaching, okay, under this video. And let's start with hormones, okay? Hormones are another great thing how we can supercharge our erections, okay? So guys, testosterone, okay? There is a big myth that you need really huge doses of testosterone. You don't, okay? But many guys, they start TRT because they think they will fix erectile dysfunction, okay? And most guys will be disappointed because it's not how it works, okay? Because, for example, most guys, they need like 350, 500 nanogram per deciliter of testosterone, total testosterone, for the erection, okay? To have a quality erection. But there are other hormones that are much crucial for strong boners, for like erectile quality, okay? And we are talking about DHT, dihydrotestosterone, okay? Many guys, they block their DHT, but DHT is extremely crucial for penile health, okay? For nitric oxide, for even for dopamine, okay? So you really need to understand you need proper level of DHT in order to have really great erections, okay? So DHT is one of the hormones that we need for great erection, okay? Another thing is estradiol, okay? Too low or too high and you have ED, okay? So we need to have a proper level of estradiol. Most of guys, especially when they have erectile issues, have high estradiol, okay? So there are many ways how you can decrease estradiol even naturally, okay? So if you need my help, you will find a link for the coaching under this video. estradiol should be like from 20 to 35 picograms per milliliter, okay? The problem with estradiol is too much of estradiol can cause venous leakage, okay? And for example, it's not only about estradiol itself, but it's also about the ratio between testosterone and estradiol, DHT and estradiol. It's also about ratio, okay? Because if you have like 500 testosterone and your estradiol is 35, it means you have a problem, okay? Big problem. So for that level, probably your estradiol should be around 15, okay? Or something like that, yeah? So you need to understand, for example, if your testosterone level is like 800, okay, then your estradiol should be around 20-25, okay? So to have a really strong erection, because like I said, too much of estradiol will create venous leakage. Venous leakage, you cannot trap the blood in your penile tissue, okay? So also estrogen has other consequences like elevated prolactin, okay? But prolactin, another hormone, prolactin can also come from other sources, okay? But prolactin is also very bad for erection, okay? So the proper level should be under 7. Most of the guys I work with have 11, 15, 20. If your prolactin is 20, you will experience some degree of erectile dysfunction, even like with 11, 15. Prolactin also blocks the recovery after the sex, okay? So if you want to recover really fast from ejaculation, okay, you need to have your prolactin very, very low, okay? So prolactin is another hormone that need to be fixed, okay? So these three hormones are extremely crucial: DHT, prolactin, and estradiol, okay? Prolactin can be as low as possible, okay? Another thing, heart health, okay? So everyone, when we think about blood flow, everyone is thinking blood flow through the penile tissue, okay? It's important, okay? But what we need is really great heart health, okay? Because heart is the pump, okay? So we really need to take care about plaque, blood pressure, okay? There are great supplements, NATO, serapeptase, okay, where we will fix the heart health, okay? So there are even natural methods how to improve blood pressure. You don't really need medication. By the way, some of the medication that are used for heart issue, like beta blockers or diuretics, are working against strong erection, okay? So we rather want to improve it naturally, okay? Nitric oxide, probably everyone heard about nitric oxide, how important it is for the erection. I will give you more information. Not all type of NOS, nitric oxide synthase enzyme, is so important, but what really important is enos, you know? So enos is the boner molecule, okay? There are really cheap supplements that can help restore enos. It doesn't matter if you are 20 years old, 30 years old, 50 years old, okay? There are cheap supplements that can reverse even genetic transcription of this boner molecule, okay? So also we need B vitamins, specific B vitamins in specific forms, in specific dosages, okay? To prevent erectile dysfunction, okay? So forget about folic acid, it's not a good choice, okay? You need really high quality B vitamins in specific dosages in order to fix your nitric oxide synthase. It means your system works much better, because you cannot just put fuel like arginine or citrulline without fixing nitric oxide synthase. Otherwise you will run into problems, okay? Another thing is, everyone is talking about nitric oxide, but there are also other ways how you can boost blood flow, okay? Adenosine, okay, VIP. So this is crucial. So you can you can hit blood flow from different angles, okay, so like nitric oxide synthase, okay. Even if you are older, you can reverse it, okay. There are cheap supplements, really cheap supplements, B vitamins, adenosine, VIP, and you will have much better blood flow, okay. So another thing is exercise, okay. So many guys think that they need some specific exercise, you know, to prevent erectile dysfunction, but you know what is the probably the number one exercise you can do, and you can do it everywhere, guys. Grip, strength exercises, okay. So there are specific grip strengths, okay, exercise where I teach them in my coaching, okay. So where you can really increase the also the erectile quality, okay. So also grip exercises can help you lower your blood pressure, for example, okay. There are also other exercises quite easy, okay, that help, for example, with insulin resistance, calf raises, for example, okay, specific calf raises exercises, because calves are the second heart, okay. So uh, it doesn't have to be complicated, okay. There are things you can really do at home. You don't even need to go to gym, okay. So another things why you really need to do blood test, okay. So vitamin D levels, okay. Guys that have low vitamin D levels have better heart health, okay, can have damage vascular system, okay. So vitamin D level, you need to have a proper level, okay. If you just supplement with vitamin D, okay, most likely you will run into issues, because you will also increase calcium in your serum. You also need to have a cofactors, okay, for that, okay. So another thing is homocysteine, okay. Homocysteine, if it's higher than 8, you really need to lower it. It can means, you know, high homocysteine can be also connected with methylation issues, okay. So B vitamins are extremely crucial, but you need to really know what kind of B vitamins and how to take it to support and lower homocysteine. TMG is also one thing that helps, but TMG alone, without addressing other issues, will not be able to lower homocysteine, okay. So also things like insulin resistance, okay, diabetes, cheap supplements that can help and improve even nitric oxide synthase in guys with diabetes, okay. So sleep apnea create a lot of fibrosis in your penile tissue, okay. Also this can be reversed, okay. Pelvic muscle, okay. We are not talking about Kegels, because Kegels are focusing just on a few muscles, okay. But you can train like the whole section of your pelvic floor, okay, in order to have a great erection, because these muscles are helping to keep your erection, okay. So you need to understand, okay. But there must be balance between strengthening and relaxing, okay. So there are great exercises, okay, that I can teach you if you join my coaching, okay. So one of these exercises is like deep squat, static squat, okay. So also there are machines that train your pelvic muscles, okay. So there are machines that can have probably thousands of contractions in one session, okay, and they properly train your muscle. You just need to sit, and the machine itself will train your muscles, okay. So another thing, as you get older or you took specific medication like SSRIs, finasteride and so on, even sulfonylureas, if you had some trauma, injury to your penile tissue, you can create a lot of fibrosis. Fibrosis prevent proper erections, okay. So you also need to reverse this, okay. So if you created Peyronie's, you have traction devices, okay. You can use low intensity shockwaves. Not all shockwaves are built the same. Most of the shockwaves therapies are completely useless, okay. So I can advise you on that. Okay, you can use vacuum pump. We are talking about medical grade vacuum pump, okay. So you don't want to use some cheap pump. We also need to measure the pressure, okay. So, and we also need to do in proper way. I have specific like protocol also for that. So how often, what other supplements to support all of this, okay? Guys, hope you find this video helpful. Let me know what you think and see you then. Bye.